Hello, everybody! Welcome to the penultimate episode of Tales from the Public Domain. Of the Public Domain. Dang it, I blew the title.
Go back.
We gotta start over.
Go back and do it again.
Cancelled.
We gotta start over. My name is Justin Barron. I am your DM for tonight. I am very excited to be here. If you are new to Ghostlight RPGs, oh boy, you picked the best night to start watching.
Why is that, Justin? Why is that?
Thanks for
Oh, no.
asking, Steven.
Tell us.
Because school children, hello. Because starting at midnight tonight, in merely I'm not wearing a watch, in merely 4 hours, 4 hours and 23 minutes, we are beginning a 24-hour live stream. 24 hours of tabletop role-playings. Titter pigs, as I like to call them.
Titter pigs.
That starts at midnight. This isn't even a part of that. This is just another pure, 3 hours of zany insanity. I said 3 hours, more like 2 hours. But point is, this is gonna be wild, okay? I don't know about you, but I'm feeling amped right now.
We'll see if you still feel that way in about 8 hours.
Let's let it live.
I'll make it weird
We don't
enough.
talk about
It's alright. So, I introduced myself. Why don't we have everybody else introduce themselves? And with doing so, this is our big Halloween stream we're doing tomorrow. I know it's 2 weeks before Halloween. Schedules, what can you say? But with that in mind, what is everybody's... when you introduce yourself, tell me your favorite Halloween activity. Puck, you go first.
Oh, man. Well, my favorite Halloween activity is, I think some people would consider just a fall activity.
Mhm.
I sit outside around a campfire and drink some alcohols. That's my favorite thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Multiple
Also,
alcohols.
introduce yourself and your pronouns and who you're playing.
Okay, I guess. Hi, everybody. My name is Puck. I use they, them pronouns. I'm playing Johnny Appleseed, a dumb luck, fun-loving 19 to 30-year-old.
It's just a big
Very broad.
range.
It's a very broad range.
Makes
There's a
sense.
laugh from me.
Makes
Who
sense.
doesn't know
Checks
which
out.
way is up
Bye.
sometimes? Yeah.
It's great.
Let's see. I'm going to throw it to Jess.
Oh, hi, I'm Jess Abad. I play Dr. Dolittle. I use they, she pronouns. Dolittle uses he, him pronouns. Play a very nervous ex-human doctor, now veterinarian. And he is indeed nervous. I'm already talking like him. So.
Yeah, I love, though, for a moment that, he is an ex-human doctor, meaning he's no longer
Yeah,
human. But that's not
nice.
what you're
That's
saying.
where my head
Yeah.
went.
That wasn't it.
Ex-human.
fits.
He is an ex-human. It's
Well,
what
he
they
was
call-
for a second, so.
That's what the MCU calls their mutants because they can't say mutants. They're called
Oh,
ex-humans.
Humans. You.
Jess, did you say your favorite Halloween activity?
Oh, my favorite Halloween activity? Right now it's going to the local corn and pumpkin farm. And getting
which
some
one do
apple
you-
cider donuts.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm going to want to talk about that later.
Pass it on, Jess. Pass it on.
Amazing. I mean, I'm in Seattle, so I don't know how relevant that information is going to be.
It's all right. I'll get on a plane tomorrow.
Okay.
Go.
Pass the energy, Jess.
Oh,
Who's next?
the Darrington.
Hey, my name is Darrington Clark. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Hercules, also he, him. Less dumb luck and more just happen to be a demigod there. Favorite Halloween activity? Costume parties. I love a theme. I love putting a costume together. I have 1 week to finish my Dr. Facilier costume and I'm kind of stressed out. But we're going to get it done. My cat's name is already Tiana, so I'm just going to make her a little crown and carry her around with me.
Love that.
So sweet.
I will pass it to Annie.
Hey, my name is Annie Schwaner. I use she, her pronouns, and I play Trixie Tootsweet, also using she, her pronouns. And my favorite activity, I'm going to be with Darrington on this one, is a good costume party, maybe watching some Corpse Bride and drinking spiked cider. That is my kind of night. And I play Trixie Tootsweet. Like I said, I'm a friggin' tooth fairy, y'all. So that's me.
You are the Tooth Fairy.
I am the Tooth Fairy, y'all. Go for it, Steven.
Oh man, everyone stole mine. By which I mean all of these activities are the things that I like to do every single year. So thank you for describing them. Yeah. Hi everybody, Steven Eubank.
Hi, Steven.
I play a Mother Goose, she, her, and I'm gonna go with like movie marathons. I like that at this time of year. There's a list of about 25 things that I otherwise, for whatever reason, wouldn't watch any other time of the year. And so I just squeeze it all in this 1 month, and then I'm like, that's probably good for another year. But a lot of them are my favorite movies. So, and I'm not going to list any of them because none of them are in public domain.
Oh, that's fair. That's fine.
Fantastic. Yeah, I love so many of those things as well. I'm not even that big of a Halloween guy, but I do enjoy. I'm a Christmas guy for sure. But I do enjoy. We have friends that always host a murder mystery party every Halloween. So we tend to go to those, and they're super cheesy, and it's like, it's fun though. It's good fun. Fantastic, y'all. Well, hey, I have some stuff to say that I forgot to pull up. Hang on, it's coming. Tales from the public domain. Damn it, I said it again. Tales of the public domain. You know why I'm doing this? It's because tomorrow in our stream, in our 24-hour live stream, we're playing Tales from the Loop, and it's throwing me off. Tales of the public domain is a PG-13. What's up? Oh. Is a PG-13 adventure. We will use strong language, but nothing graphic outside of that. We also use color cards, such as these, to make sure that we're all staying respectful of each other's boundaries and just comfortable at the table here. Yeah, outside of that, don't forget to follow if you haven't already. I know everybody in the chat already has, but hey, if you're lurking back there, just give us a follow. But we love you either way. If you just want to watch and chill, and that's cool. But if you follow, you're not gonna miss a single thing tomorrow, because we're gonna be. You get the notifications every time we go live, and because of how we have to do this, we're gonna drop and go back on, drop and go back on between every show. So it will let you know. So follow is my point. Also, we have big news coming tomorrow regarding something called a Patreon. So keep a lookout for that, and that'll go live tomorrow. Okay. Is that everything, y'all? I think that's everything.
I think so.
It's a good amount of stuff.
It's a good amount. It's a good amount, honestly.
Yeah,
I think we just we need to jump in. We just need to get to it. So
we can always take commercial breaks, Justin.
Right. So previously on the Tales of the Public Domain, all of these this ragtag group of characters from every corner of the public domain have been brought together to basically procure crystals from many worlds that have been kind of paired together throughout the last 4 sessions, which you can go find on YouTube, by the way, if you want to just pause and go watch those and come back later. They're very good. They're very good. Just pat yourselves on the back, everybody. They're very good. And in those last 4 sessions, though, they have they've gone to many crazy worlds, combinations of worlds, and finally went back to the headquarters, if you will, called the Crux. Now, all of this was given to them, all this assignment and whatnot was given to them by someone known only as the Man in the Watch. And he just very recently has shown his hand. Now, you all got back from your last mission, basically, found the crux was deserted, and the Man in the Watch basically told you, hey, we have one crystal left, and I already have a team on it, so you're all good. Why don't you all go home? We've done it. We did. We succeeded. It's great. You were a little trepidatious in believing that, rightfully so. And when it came down to it, he admitted that he had been lying to you. With collecting all of the crystals together, he told you that it was not. It will not restore all worlds. It can only restore a single world, and he intends for that world to be his own. So trying to teleport y'all out of the crux, a last minute attack from Johnny, spitting a Appleseed toward him, caused a malfunction in the machine, and when he tried to teleport you away, a little bit of an explosion occurred. You all were teleported to, not back to your own worlds, but instead to a new pair of worlds. So, we begin this session. You all have landed on a sandy beach. You are not sure where you're at, but there's sand all around you, except the sand is a green in color, with little bits of pink kind of scattered around. You see the blue, like crystal blue ocean kind of pouring up. The tides are, the waves are crashing. It's midday. I mean, you would have to guess the sun is high in the sky. Not really much of an inkling as to where you are currently. However, it does look like you're safe at the moment. There is no immediate danger around you. You've all landed there. I want to specify you have not healed from your battle with Quackula. Some of you are not looking great. So, that is where we start.
That son of a
Shoot.
biscuit.
I missed.
Oh, you didn't miss, honey. That was a good try.
Well, now what do we do? I guess I could take a sample of some of this sand. It's very pretty. Does anyone else think this is very pretty?
It is. Doctor, hun, you doing all right over there?
Dolittle hasn't even opened his eyes. He's pretty sure he died.
Yeah,
Mr. Hercules, you look a little hurt too. Are you all right?
I'll be fine.
Well,
Am I dead?
Oh,
no,
Or-
you're alive.
Or if you
Okay.
are, then we're all dead with you. Is that good news?
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess I did imagine that heaven might look a little like this, but no, I think we're alive.
so this place doesn't look familiar to anyone.
Not to me.
That's a negative for me.
this is in California. The sand's all wrong.
I've never seen so much water in my life.
Well, any ideas? What are we doing?
Well, that guy said that there was another team here that was trying to probably do what we were doing, right?
And if that team gets the crystal, then
Well,
I think that's the next idea. Find them. Stop them.
All right, I'm on it. Yoo-hoo, hello, can anyone hear us?
Fantastic. You start looking around, Mother, and go ahead and make me a perception check.
Okay. All right.
Anybody else want to do anything specific at this time?
I'm gonna try
I'm
to find
just-
some wildlife.
Fanning the poor doctor. You all right? There you go.
I'm looking in the
I-
sky. Birds. Anything.
I am perceptive to the equivalent of a 19.
Okay, good. Good to note that. Dolittle, you're looking for wildlife, you said?
Any animals to talk to?
Sure. Go ahead and make me a perception check as well.
Sure.
Who else?
I would like to make a nature check to maybe to get my bearings, to see if
Yeah, sure.
things are normal. I don't know. Normal.
Yeah. Go for it.
Got a 15.
Oh, womp womp. I got an 8.
An 8. All right. So, okay, so Johnny, you see there this sand is definitely sand, but the little pink colorful things that you see kind of every now and then kind of poking through, you recognize as like mushrooms. Little pink mushrooms. That's basically all you get with an 8. The Jess, Dolittle looks up. You do see like seagulls like flying around kind of the just up and down the coast here. You are pretty sure that you like hear some like scuttling, kind of like some scurrying in the like at the tree line, not too far away from the shore. Like there's definitely some wildlife in there. It's kind of hard to tell what it is unless you want to actively go into it. And Steven, you look around. You see a couple things. Number one, you see you kind of start looking out at the ocean. There is an island that is not too far away. Definitely probably too far to swim to it, but it is it would be a short boat ride most likely. It looks kind of like it's got this volcanic-esque like shape to it where like it's almost like a mountain, but it's kind of got like a caldera at the top. Yeah, that's probably not the right topographical terms for all of that, what I just said, but deal with it. Over across the horizon, far to the whatever you would probably guess east, you see, or northeast, I guess, you see a ship. Looks large, with like 3 sails on it.
Is it in port?
It is not in port. It is at sea.
Okay.
It is sailing at the moment.
All right.
To your right, all of you can see that the sand kind of turns into some dunes, which you can see kind of carry over into a bit of like a grassy hill type area. Directly behind you, to the south, is again kind of like a jungle-esque, like woodsy type area. And then to the left is, well, that jungle kind of carries over to the left, but then you get some of like the craggy rocks of the coast over there to the west. So that's what you see.
Is anyone good at making rafts or boats?
Well, that's no, but if I look at my map, I think I can have a good idea where we need to go. Anyway,
Oh.
should we maybe rest though for a minute?
Oh.
Yeah,
I look like I'm dying because I did.
you do. Maybe we should take a little bit of a short rest. That's to say.
So a short rest will be 10
technically-
minutes,
Oh,
and
well.
will allow you to roll your hit dice, what the hit dice you have remaining. but you won't get any of your like features back, basically.
That's fair.
A long rest would be an hour. I mean, here's the thing. In the past, you know that the Man of the Watch has been able to freeze these worlds, rather unfreeze them for a number, like up to 3 hours or so before he claims they will collide and explode and whatnot. Yeah, so you're not sure how far exactly into that time it already is. You know that he said that he had sent the like A team essentially here, but you don't know how long ago that was. So you could have an hour, you could not. Who knows?
Oh, I think it would be too scary, wouldn't it,
Yeah.
for us to take an hour? But we have to. I mean, Dolittle and maybe even Trixie can't do another fight.
I
Like-
need 10 minutes.
We can.
Yeah.
Well, time is a construct. We can take the time we need. I say that we take an hour rest. Now, does anything around here look, hospitable? Is it safe? Can we have shelter?
Yeah, I mean, kind of judging your surroundings here, you have your pick. You have your pick essentially. You could have your back to the water. You could have your back to the jungle. You could take your chances in the hills and see what's over there. It's a little hard to tell from here because
I have bad
hills.
experiences with hills. Once upon a time, Jack and Jill went up a hill to fetch a pail of water. Well, Jack fell down
then
and broke
what?
his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. I think we should stay down on the beach.
That's terrible.
It was unfortunate, yes.
That is fair. Well, I think maybe a little bit of shelter under the trees then.
I
I
kind of
think
want
that's
to.
a lovely idea.
I
Johnny,
kind of
you...
want to.
No, you go ahead, young
I
man.
want to poke this mushroom in the sand. It's really weird because these don't usually grow here. I'm gonna get down into like a squatting position and just like find some driftwood and just kind of like poke at one of the mushrooms.
Sure.
Maybe.
I am going to stand far away from you as you do that.
I take a couple steps back as well.
You, first of all, I want to say, Jess, Sumque has given you a point of inspiration, just cause it seems, and Ecat Carter has given one to Mother Goose again, just because. I think they've lost their inspiring idea. They're just now points of inspiration. But thank you all for that.
It was for Jack and Jill. It was
well, yeah, and then Kate,
Thank you,
Kate.
is giving one to Steven for the Jack and Jill.
and thank you, Emma. Emma fesses up too. They both enjoyed my up the hill
Gotcha.
reference. Thanks, guys.
Gotcha. Normally you'd only be able to have 1 point of inspiration at a time, but I will.
But we're dying.
I will allow that to carry
really
over.
good.
You can have 2 points.
Well,
no more than 2, so don't give him any more.
No,
One
no,
for Jack,
no.
one for Jill.
Right, yes, exactly. And so I would actually like to give a point of inspiration to Johnny while I take a step back. I would like to inspire him and say, well, you can go poking about and sometimes that works out in your favor. But I think I'm going to go, poke around over here.
Okay.
So Johnny, you start poking the ground. Now, let me ask real quick, y'all. Are we taking a short rest? Like, is this part of the short rest? Or are we doing a long rest?
I don't need to rest, so
Long rest.
I would love a long rest because then I could
Yeah.
get some seeds, but also time. I don't need the rest, just so
I
y'all
do,
know.
But
But I was gonna take at least 10 minutes to also get the lay of the land. So
Cool.
I think long rest is good.
Long rest.
We all agree.
long rest? Okay.
So, you all find your own little places to cozy up. Now, if anybody wants to roleplay anything during this time, please jump in and let me know if you want to have a scene with somebody else here, or do your own thing. Sumkey has given another point of inspiration, this time to Trixie, for always telling the truth.
The tooth.
The two.
Classic.
My
I'll
goodness.
tell
Classic.
the truth.
This is why we're here. This is
Oh,
why we're
I
here.
get it.
This is the content I need.
Johnny, Johnny, you pick up a stick, and you go to poke this little mushroom. I mean, this thing is about the size of Trixie. It's about like yay big.
Can I go sit on it?
Oh,
Johnny
and-
pokes it, and then Trixie, you go and sit on it.
Now, Trixie, that
Oh.
reminds me of this one time Little Miss Muffet sat upon a tuffet. And then Mother Goose just rambles off the rest of the story of that.
Fantastic. I
Thank
thought
you.
that was
Johnny's
gonna
gonna
be like like an Inception moment where like this is what allows Mother Goose to create Little Miss Muffet.
Oh, if only. Wouldn't that be great? No. Little Miss Muffet already, she's on contract with me.
Yeah.
We're good.
So, Trixie, you sit down on it, and you feel it kind of like vibrate underneath you.
Good lord.
And you kind of instantly get up, and you see two little like eyes like bloop bloop open up underneath like the the cap, and you just see like a little.
Oh, I do apologize.
Hello.
And you see like they just like start running across the sand.
Are we all there?
And
Do we
they-
all see this?
Sure. And then you walk across the, and then
Whoa.
they and plant themselves farther, like 4 feet away in the sand again, and
I
look
think
like
I
just a mushroom.
disturbed him.
Good heavens.
Do
I do
hear
need to lay
anything?
down now.
I made him move his house.
That's a great question. Doc, you can communicate with animals. This is technically not an animal. But
This is less fauna and more
here,
flora. Is that what you're
I'll
saying?
leave it up to a roll. I'll leave it up to a roll here, Jess.
Can make
So,
a nature check.
yeah, make me a nature check.
Can we both make nature checks to see
Plan.
if I can speak to,
Sure.
my
Why not?
gosh.
Why not?
or not even speak to, but understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Ooh, I got a natural
Oh
20.
my gosh.
Natural
Got
20 for
22.
for Johnny and a 22 for Dr. Doolittle. All right, both of you hear like the voice go, what? Oh God! Oh no! Oh no! Help! 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 I'll hide here.
Oh, they're just scared.
Oops.
Same.
Oh, I hope it was my rump that scared him. I apologize. Well,
No offense, ma'am, but you don't really seem that heavy.
oh, well, thank you. I knew I liked you. But I have looked at my sheet and I realize I'm tired and I'm getting a little woozy. So I'm going to go sit down now. And I'm going to go sit next to the doctor and just kind of rest my feet and brush my hair finally because it's in knots with everything we've been through. So.
Okay.
Justin, I have a quick clarifying question.
Mhm.
Technically, in the last episode, Johnny stabbed Quackula in the heart, and Quackula's blood previously was turning things to gold.
Mm-hmm.
Is the tip of Johnny's walking stick a little bit gold?
So here's the thing. It wasn't the blood that was turning things gold. It was their bite.
Oh, that's right.
So as long as they didn't bite you, there's no gold. However, thank you for the
Is
reminder.
my
Oh,
hand
yeah.
still gold?
Yes, I believe it was left hand.
Oh, for the love
Your
of
left
God!
hand is gold.
Still.
Oh my God.
Solid gold.
Oh, that's really annoying.
You can insure that
too
for a
bad.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
too
so
bad
what-
we don't have a doctor.
So Mother Goose is going to take this time to fashion her shawl into a sling to hold her left arm up, because I don't want to be carrying around a gold hand on the end of my left arm.
Okay.
Okay.
I will mention, it's only slightly heavier than, your arm was. For whatever magical reason that makes that happen. So it's not like you're being weighed down by this like huge,
Okay.
metal.
Yeah, that goes completely against the laws of physics. But sure, whatever, that's fine. That's
But it
fine.
is, well, yeah, it's magical. I mean,
So does green sand and little
a
mushroom
vampire
men.
goose bit you and
Yeah.
turned your arm gold. So I mean, you know, it's got its
Yeah.
own laws.
That never actually happened to you? Because I mean,
Sorry, yeah, I should get out more often.
You
So,
did.
okay, so Puck, what is Johnny doing during this rest?
I think obviously I'm going to take 10 minutes to get the lay of the land so that I will be able to know. It says I can locate an object or a person that I am familiar with. I don't know if that's an and or situation, but I figure it will come in handy regardless. And then as I'm getting the lay of the land, I'm kind of just like, looking at the sun in the sky. I tasted some of the sand. It was gross and salty. I think I think I've got like direction wise with the jungle, and then so after the 10 minutes has passed, I'll go up to Mother Goose, kind of like carelessly swinging my walking stick around a little bit like a sword, and I'll be like, I used to know a guy who had a hand kind of like that. His name was Shmamy Canister. That's kind of funny. You just remind me of him.
well, I'll take the compliment.
It's very familiar.
And I tussle Johnny's hair with my non-gold hand.
It's greasy.
Oh.
And then I wipe it off on the shawl. And I blow him a kiss. I like you. You're cute.
That's what he'll do with his time.
In a 19 to 31-year-old kind of way.
It's a good greeting
Darrington,
card.
some key has given you a point of inspiration
Oh.
for strong arming the competition.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Him on the writing team.
And what do you think Hercules is doing during this time?
Ooh, Hercules has sort of been a little dumbstruck by all of this because, one, his background of fooling people into thinking that he is a hero has made him pretty adept at lying and covering up situations, but he was not ready for this twist. And I think since then he's been stuck on the lies that they've heard and sort of how to get. I think he's a little bit more action focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darrington might have been absent, but Hercules was there last week or 2 weeks ago when we, when Hercules was there for his team in that battle, and I just wonder how do you think Hercules is feeling, in that regard? He didn't run from the fight. He couldn't talk his way out of it. He fought.
Well, I wonder, and Hercules might ask this, it might be a good question, but if everyone has remembered what their last moment was before their worlds collided, because Hercules does, and over the course of this time, he's been able to do all sorts of things that he couldn't do in that moment, to save his brother. And so I think there's, I don't know. I wonder if he's just thinking about how to get this done. But as far as his time, I think he volunteered to keep watch around the jungle and around the crags to make sure that nothing got the jump on them while everybody was resting. He didn't need to rest that much.
Okay. Good.
But I do think he would, just to see what happens, because these pink mushrooms are all over the beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it felt kind of like Puck and, not Puck, but Johnny and Dolittle could somewhat understand a little bit of what was going on.
Yeah.
So Hercules will go up to the doctor and say, you had some idea what these things were and what they would say, didn't you?
Yeah, they were scared. Maybe I was projecting. I don't know.
Do you think that one of them might be able to tell us where we are?
I can try. I'm still bleeding out a little bit.
That's fair. Take your time.
Once I'm back up. You got
Maybe I have some gauze. I could just kind of shove it in the wound.
You have like little pieces of gauze in your pack, and you're just like dabbing them. It's like when you cut yourself shaving or something. You use like a little piece of like paper.
I'm sorry, darling. I'm used to teeth, not gaping. Yep, that'll work right there.
I think I have a
least get a
granola
mint.
bar. It's like worse than a Nature Valley granola
No.
bar.
Yeah,
It just instantly turns into sand.
Yeah, they hand it over, but it's really just like a handful of like granola. Here you go. Here.
You all are laying about when towards the end of this rest, Dolittle, you're laying there with your eyes closed, just kind of trying to relax, trying to like let it all out of your mind. Once again, you hear a bit of scuffling in the woods. You guys are closer to the woods at this point, to the little jungle area, and you notice, you kind of open your eyes instinctively and look up at the trees. They are very tall, towering, but they're very different from each other. Some of them are very tropical, very like palm tree jungle-esque, and others are they just look weird. You've never seen trees quite like them. They have a bit of like more fungi on them, but like different colored fungi. The bark at different times is like colored different things, and it's bizarre, and it doesn't blend together. You instinctively think about the fact that, you know, all of these worlds, every world you've been to, have been like kind of paired up together, and you just think that this must be the result of a pairing of that kind. It's while you're thinking that you see, I mean, don't even like really, it's just kind of like you're just looking up at the trees, and then you see two eyes looking down at you from the tree, from like the branches.
What?
There's eyes, and I start just
And they're gone.
wait.
Oh no, he's
Eyes?
hysterical. He's delirious. Does somebody have a snack that we can give him? I think the poor dear just has low blood sugar.
I have granola. Do you want some?
You're holding sand, my love. That's sand in your hand.
Johnny.
No, I mean, it's probably got sand in it now because I was on the beach, but it was once granola.
It like,
You know what?
like
I'm gonna save this for later, Johnny. Thank you.
within the wrapper, within like the old like wrapper that it's in. It like when you open it, it looks like sand because it's just like it's crumbled pieces of granola that, you know, they look like sand.
Great.
Dolittle,
Still in my pocket.
while you're having this interaction and whatnot, you hear another scuffle in the trees behind you.
Okay. Trixie,
Starting
can you
to
look
get sweaty,
where I'm
dog.
looking, please? Do you see
Yep,
what?
sure.
Does Trixie see what I'm seeing?
What am I looking at? I
Just
could.
right there, around, and I'm pointing generally where I saw or
Hey.
heard.
I will
kidding.
try to do one of the and like look that
Oh
way.
my goodness.
Fantastic. Go ahead and make me an investigation check, Trixie.
Sure. Absolutely.
That's really fun.
Let's see how this
Oh.
goes. Let's try inspiration again because that was bad. Let's do it again. Yep, let's do that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
21 is better.
All right, you look, you kind of like stretch and kind of try to casually look into the tree line. You do see a pair of eyes just kind of like hovering as they move about. you lose them at one point, and then see them again somewhere else, and you lose them again, and you find yourself kind of just getting a little closer to the tree line, and then whoop, they open right in front of you, and underneath them, you just see a large mouth
Yes.
and smile at you.
Uh-huh.
No.
Uh-huh.
And
I thought
face, with that, the rest of it just kind of almost comes into it apparates from nothing, and you see a large, oddly colored cat, lounging on a branch in front of you.
Scream.
Well, sweet buttermilk, isn't that the sweetest smile I've ever seen?
My. You're not from around here.
No, we are not, darling. Where is here, if we might ask?
A question worth its weight in mushrooms. Here is where it's meant to be. If you're here, you're meant to be here.
Right. So, mushrooms. Is that? Did we follow the mushrooms? Is that what we're doing here? Mm-hmm.
When you say
Like,
that,
you've been
you
following
realize
mushrooms.
their eyes flit towards the ground, and then they're gone, they disappear, and you see, you just hear a on the ground, where they have landed, and a mushroom sticking out of their mouth is that.
Do I hear screaming?
You heard a small scream, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
I named that one.
Johnny's name.
I named that one!
That's adorable.
The cat now kind of just, slowly strides along the sand. At one point, it turns invisible again. You see its footprints in the sand, and then it kind of reapparates as after it's climbed up to another branch in the trees.
Well, that's a fancy trick.
Is that a cat?
Is
None
that
like
a
I've
boy?
ever seen.
You
Sometimes.
You all seem curious.
I'm
A
mostly
little bit.
terrified.
Perhaps I could help with that.
There are a couple things that we might need to know.
Shoot.
Primarily, do you know a way off of this beach?
Oh, off the beach. One would need to get on the water.
Yes, we agree. Do you know of a boat or a raft or a way to get on the water?
At this point, the tail is kind of wrapped around, and he swings almost like a pendulum, just slowly back and forth. It's mesmerizing in a way. And his smile just kind of swinging back and forth, eyes looking at you, Mother Goose. No boats, no ships, not here.
Are we the first strangers you've seen?
A smart question. Indeed, no.
Could you tell us where those first strangers are?
Oh, I could. Invisible, leaping up to another branch, the eyes, the smile, the cat reapparates. I could, indeed. What will you give me?
Your first cleaning will be free.
I have biscuits.
Enticing
What?
offers.
Floss.
Granola.
You-
Trixie, make me a persuasion check.
Okay.
While she does that, I'm gonna lean
Mint.
over to Dr. Dolittle and just be like, Mr. Doctor, I think that cat is really sick.
I,
I
you know,
accidentally hit it twice.
I think it's just not a cat. It's a cat. It's not a cat. Not it because it has a tail of a marsupial, and it goes into like some weird jargon about
Yeah.
identifying
Perfect.
wildlife, and
Yes.
it probably
Perfect.
goes right over Johnny.
he's like,
He smiles at you, Trixie, seeing all of your gleaming, glistening tools. That could be nice.
Well, sure. As long as you tell us everything we need to know. Do we have a deal?
Deal.
You see Trixie in like a flash just immediately start cleaning his teeth, and it's like
It's a
buffing him
jackhammer.
up and like and almost like a huge ribbon of floss is just going in and out of his teeth.
I don't know if I've ever seen her more comfortable.
So you take like 5 minutes and just give this cat the works.
And I'm hearing his whole story and understanding what he's like, I was just, oh, really? Well, that's really nice.
Hey, you don't know where you want to go.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
I like
and-
racquetball too.
And he
Cannon.
says, my, quite refreshing.
Well, good. Mint.
I think I have something else in mind.
Doctor puts out his hand for the mint.
There you go.
Dr. Dolittle, you hear another, as the cat has reappeared, eating a mushroom. The cat leaps up, kind of striding along Hercules' leg, you know, like that cat thing, and then pops back up into the tree and looks at all of you slowly and says, "How can I help?"
Oh, good. Well, what do we want to ask him?
The strangers, the first batch that appeared here, they're searching for something. Do you know what that might be?
The first
look
strangers
scary.
that came were dirty and small. Small like not unlike you there. Looking at Johnny. And then the cat says, but they quickly ran off. Didn't like the smile, I suppose. And then he says, but then, quickly, others came. These were not quite... They did not have the same scent about them. They, much like you, seemed to be quite a puzzle of varied pieces, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
He says, feel free to roll an insight check if you want to see if you can like kind of read past his puzzles.
I will.
It's hard to give you guys clues, but also
Yeah.
like speak in Cheshire Cat, it's very hard.
Well,
Yeah, I think it's great.
This is
Well, Mother
completely
Goose-
improvised.
Mother Goose wondered if the cat was referring to pigs.
From the way that she gestures to Johnny, you
yeah.
would assume that she is talking about a human, and
yeah.
likely young humans.
Okay.
But as she said, go ahead and roll me. Who rolled insight?
I did. I got a 13.
A 13. Anybody else?
And it's a Friday.
I do want to.
Yeah, might as well.
I'm gonna roll.
Friday the 13th.
A 5.
Yeah.
Amazing.
5 Hercules. This is all.
No
your
idea
stats.
what's going on.
Yeah, and the rest
We're
of us
all
are
very-
right around
You're
that
all
13.
you're all kind of getting a general sense. It seems that you would assume that he is referring to the first people who showed up being when the worlds collided.
Okay.
So whoever these dirty human children are, it would seem that they are a part of the other world that collided with this one. However, the second group that he's talking about, you do get the vibe that he's referring to people like yourselves who are a collective of other worlds, not all from the same. So, yeah.
Justin, I have a quick question. As I've maybe taken my 10 minutes to get the lay of the land, do I have a sense of where the crystal in this world might be?
That's a very good question. Yeah, roll me insight with advantage here. I'm going to give you something either way, but we'll see. Thank you, Ekat Carter, for giving me an inspiration point.
He doesn't need
For
it.
Improvising
What?
the Cheshire Cat.
No.
Because
Yeah,
it is hard.
fierce.
And yes, I am allergic to cats. Pretty
Me too.
badly, so yeah.
I got an 18.
Got an 18, fantastic. Johnny, as the cat is talking, you kind of zone out a little bit. You start like looking around. There is a strong sense of nature here, and although it's foreign to the nature within your soul, it is still nature, and it still kind of speaks to you, and you feel a strong sense. You feel like two strong senses of magic, along with something else that I'll tell you in a second. So you feel like a pull of magic deeper into the jungle. You also feel a pull of magic out in the sea in the direction of that island. The last thing that you sense is the vibrations of the ground as you... It's tricky to pinpoint, but it feels like back home when maybe like a train rolled by, or maybe like when a bandwagon or like horses were like stampeding forward. It feels kind of like that, as if something is approaching.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the colonial elevator music that plays rent-free in Johnny's head stops, and they look up and kind of like look around the beach, like, uh-oh.
What is it, Johnny? By the way, all this time, Mother Goose has been trying very probably unsuccessfully to like figure out like how to knit not using her hand. But she really desperately wants to pass the time. So she probably has like a knitting needle in her teeth.
Yeah.
And so she finally goes,
Amazing.
What is it, Johnny? What do you feel?
It's like, I think something's coming this way. Do we hide?
Well,
Is Cat still here? Oh, go ahead.
The cat is still there, and when Johnny says that, the cat says, hide or not, it doesn't really matter. You'll end up where you're meant to be.
Oh, it doesn't make any sense. We might as well just stay here.
Well, shoot, you're the one who always talks in riddles, Mother, so if you can't understand him, I don't know who can.
I take offense to that. I like to speak in rhyme. I never speak in riddles. I'm very clear about what I am trying to say.
Fair.
You you all start to hear what you think Johnny is alluding to. You hear coming from the east, from the hills, what sounds like a bunch of like just feet, like an army maybe.
Large
then,
feet or little feet?
What?
Does it sound like big feet or little feet?
Sounds like a
Does it
lot
sound
of
like an
little
animal?
feet.
Yeah, I bet it's a bunch of little red and black feet.
Oh, I wonder if it's Bo Peep's sheep. You know, little Bo Peep had
my
lost
gosh.
her sheep.
At this point, you see that the cat starts to disappear, and the last thing to disappear is his mouth as he says, my, how the time flies. Good luck." And just disappears. And it's in that moment that you see cresting the hill, like, I don't even, freaking couple 100 yards away, you see, indeed, a line of playing cards, large and holding weaponry of different kinds. They have arms, they have legs, they have heads. They are playing card bodies, red and black, lined up in perfect suit. You see about 50 of them. They are marching along. They don't even seem to like have noticed you along the tree line. Their focus is at the shore, because it's then that you, Johnny, will say, with again that pull of magic coming from the island, you kind of glance that direction again. Not at the island, much closer. You see a massive ship coming into view from around the crags of the coast. A large ship flying a flag, a black flag with white skull and crossbones on it. Behind it are two other, like, kind of smaller ships, but they all are sailing into view. You all can see now, cannons are out and at the ready. You find yourselves caught between two warring factions who are about to go at it. What do you all do?
Holy smokes! I don't know anything about a lot of things, but I know that flag has the same face that I've seen on poison bottles, so that's not good.
I don't like that.
Bravo.
I really don't like that. Which side do we think is going to win? Let's pick a side.
I mean, hiding doesn't sound like too bad of a plan to me after all.
That's fair. I kind of choose the flying ones.
Dolittle is closing his eyes and just hoping that he does.
Okay.
That's just
So,
over.
I'm sorry, so Trixie, what did you say you're doing?
I said I choose the flying ones if we're going to choose somebody, and she might make a gesture like, should we go towards them?
What is
Are you going back towards the forest? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I was thinking retreat to the forest, but not unless that's what I don't want to leave anybody.
I'm with Hercules.
No, I'll follow the group.
Trees. That's fun.
You start, instinctively, all of you start to retreat into the forest before you get too seen. At that, as you're kind of retreating, you hear like "This'll be the death of ye! You and all your playing cards! Fire!" And there's like just. You see like the front row of playing cards. Just like one of them, like a cannonball just rips through it. It looks down, looks up, and then just continues marching onwards.
Gosh. Maybe that's the winning side.
You see, they are all rushing down to the shore as like they have like little bow and arrows, and like flinging them over onto the ship. Some of them have like little ropes attached to the end, and then are like holding hands, and they like have a string of playing cards basically fluttering in the wind as they like climb up the rope to get to the ship. You all retreat from this scene, though, as you venture a bit further into the forest. Who is leading you in this moment? Johnny?
Mother Goose is following Hercules.
Yeah, I think Herc.
Yeah. So Hercules, you are you running? Do you think you're looking for anything specific? Do you think you're just kind of trying to get away from that?
I do want to get away, but I'm not far enough to where we can't see what's happening, because I do think we want to know who wins and if they might go in the direction we need them to.
Okay. You retreat. You get to deep in that like you couldn't be seen, but not so deep that you could still see sort of through the trees, like the string of cards, and like you hear the cannon blasts. You all kind of duck down and hide there for a moment. Next to you, Mother Goose, you feel a tug on your like skirt. Are you wearing a skirt?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Feel a tug on your skirt, and you like for a moment you're just like, well, that's perfectly natural, and you turn and look. You see a dirty little face of a child, like tugging on your skirt, like just like food dried. It's a child. You all know what I'm talking about. It's like they licked a lollipop and then like got it stuck to their cheek or something. It's like, what did you do? What did you get into? It's like, how is there ketchup in your eyebrow? Like, what is going on?
You don't even have ketchup.
What kind of kids are you meeting?
Mother
They're
Goose,
always
you see,
sticky.
you turn and look at them, and they say, hello.
Oh, well, aren't you precious? Do you have a name?
My name is... Oh, I should have given myself a name.
You have a name, poor thing.
No name, yeah.
My name
No
is...
You mean no one gave you a name?
My
You should
name
have
is
given
Swaya.
yourself a name?
My name is
Swaya.
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 Okay.
Because I sway all my enemies.
Oh.
Oh.
Slay. Slay.
I'm Swaya.
Hello,
Could
Slayer.
you help me? I with you, but I got a little lost. There's all these new tweeds here, and I don't recognize them.
Right. We are people from two worlds that had been smashed together as well. So your original world didn't have these trees.
Goosey, you're scaring him.
Oh my. This is a child crying.
Not crying, just like trying to put the pieces together of what she
You
just
want a
said.
mint, honey?
Oh. Yes, please.
Yeah. There you go. It'll help with the...
Trixie, while you're at it, I think I would enjoy one as well, may I?
Yeah, oh, of course, dear. We
Thank
got
you.
Tic Tacs.
So many.
We got Altoids.
Now,
The
Young
child
one,
is
I
looking
know-
out beyond the jungle where the cannons are happening. Pirates.
oh, actual pirates, not people like playing pirates?
No, that's pirates. That's
Okay.
scurvy Captain Hook.
Oh, he has scurvy? I think I'll stay away from him.
That's good. You should. He's scary. But
Man,
I would
speaking
sway
of
him if I
s-
could.
Speaking of scurvy, I could really go for a rum right now.
So with you distracted, he walks over to...
I have mouthwash.
he walks
Oh, no.
over
Close enough.
to Trixie. Actually, I think he's just kind of... Trixie, he doesn't seem to be, like, phased by you at all. He walks over to Hercules, though, and he says, wow, you're really big, mister.
Thank you, child.
Oh, he likes you, beefcake.
And then he turns to you, Trixie, he says, are you friends with Tink?
Tink who?
Tinkerbell?
I don't think so, dear. I'm new here. We've never been here before. So wait.
Oh, and he looks
You
sad when you
seen
say
a
that.
fairy? Somebody like me?
Yeah, but we lost her. She got taken, and we're looking for her now, but we can't find her. And when we were looking, I got lost, and everybody else is probably looking for me. But who are you?
when you
Have you ever had a dream when you? Well, my name's Trixie, dear, and well, these are my friends, and we can help you out if you want. We're kind of looking for somebody too. Have you seen a lot of people who look like us, like a group together? Doesn't look like they belong here besides us.
I do love that
Oh.
Trixie, the Tooth Fairy, just said, "Have you seen a group that looks like us?" And we just could not look more different than a group
Yep.
that would
Yep.
ever
Yep.
be seen together.
Oh,
Yep. Mismatched.
yes. Peter went off with some people who look like you, but we didn't go. He said to stay back.
Okay.
Peter Pumpkin Eater is here.
Do you have
Oh.
pumpkins?
No.
Well, we make tales about pumpkins back in Tinseltail
Tails.
Town.
I have a tail, and you see he like turns around. You see there's like
Oh
a
my.
little like piece of
Good
like
grief.
cloth like pinned to his
Yep.
back, and he's like, wow.
And then Mother Goose addresses the group and she says, "And this is why I wrote what are little boys and little girls made of? What are little boys made of? Snaps and snails and puppy dogs' tails. And literally, that's what this little boy is made of."
All right.
Hmm.
Okay. No pumpkins. We're following a Peter pumpkin. Peter?
Peter's not a pumpkin.
No,
Oh.
he's a pumpkin eater.
pumpkin
Maybe.
Had a
Anyway.
wife and couldn't keep her.
Peter went with this really strong lady and this guy who looks like you, and he points to Hercules. And this guy with all black. Oh, he looked cool. And also this girl who she had a really cool red cloak.
Oh.
Well, I
Okay.
don't think that's Peter Pumpkin Eater. Maybe it's Peter Piper.
No. So we're looking for Peter, your friend, and these random looking.
Well, I'm not looking for them. I'm just looking for the other Lost Boys. But I can't find them.
They're lost too?
Well, that's probably why you can't find them, young man, is because they're lost.
That's a good point. You were smart.
Thank you.
More cannons. They gotten closer, as if the ship has kind of turned a bit and is now shooting more on the beach than in the hills. And like the trees even like shake.
Oh, gosh.
You see a couple trees fall down near the coast.
Johnny, do you have any understanding of where we are? I know you're really one with the forest and environment around you. Maybe you and
Yeah.
our little friend here could figure things out together.
Hold on, let me look at my map.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Honey,
What's the corn
Um,
puffs again?
with what you had before, go ahead and roll me I'll let you choose investigation or perception.
Okay, because I don't know if my lay of the land is still carrying over.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have a good sense of direction and I can locate an object or person I'm familiar with. So you said insight?
Well, if you're trying to do one of those specific things, then we can just do that without rolling. If you're trying to just like get a sense of what's around you, then go ahead and roll for me, and I'll just kind of tell you what you find.
Well, I'll look at my map for a while and I'll be like, what are we looking for again? A crystal?
Crystal, stolen fairy,
Which is more important? What about that guy with the wristwatch? What about him? Do you think he's here?
I don't know.
he may
I don't
be,
know
but
where he got sent.
if he is, he's most likely where the crystal will be too.
Ain't fair. Now,
Stop.
these crystals, they're at the heart of the story, right? Is that what we're kind of understanding?
Yes,
But
we need to
whose-
figure out whose story this is.
That's right. That's what I was going to say, Hercules.
The heart of the story. The heart of the
Yeah.
story.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
what the Swan Lady said.
Oh, yes, Slayer. And do you know what the heart of the story is?
No, I don't. But the Swan Lady said to Peter that they had to find the heart of the story, and then they went off that way. And he points a bit deeper into the forest. And he says, "But Peter told us not to come, so I wasn't looking for Peter. I was just looking for the Wasp Boys."
Does that coalesce with my sense of crystal
The
/
direction he pointed is one of the two magic pulses that you are feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Slayer, man, I don't feel like it's safe for you here on the beach. Are you sure you shouldn't just come with us?
Oh, where are you going?
We're going to go find your friend Peter and the Strong Lady.
Peter told me not to go, but I guess I'd rather go with Peter than be alone. So I'll come with you.
Well, that settles that.
Think
And maybe
that's
on
better.
our way we'll find other lost boys like you.
And he kind of looks at you when you say that, and there's like a moment, and he just says, "You remind me of someone."
You remind me of someone. Have you heard of Wee Willie Winky?
No, tell me about them. And you start walking through the forest.
It's a montage.
I'm getting so many opportunities. Now that I'm finally out of my own land, I'm getting all these opportunities to finally reference it.
You all journey for another 30 minutes or so. So you've been in this world about an hour and 45 minutes or so at this point. So
Pushing it.
you Johnny, you feel like you're close. You feel it more before you see anything. All of you, in fact, feel a strong, it's almost like a cool mist that kind of just kind of breezes past all of you. You
Did you smell that?
you feel there's a sense of magic in that mist. Trixie, Hercules, Johnny, there's like a sense of magic that just kind of comes pulsing off of that mist before it kind of disapparates. And you see up ahead in a clearing 6 people.
Okay.
You see 6 people. You see, in fact, the Slayer goes, oh, Peter, and maybe one of you kind of put your hand over his mouth as he does that. He's like, oh,
My whole body.
Peter, pointing to this child in green, like tattered clothes, essentially. Next to him, you see a burly woman with like no sleeves, kind of like just, I don't know if any of you know what t-shirts are, but the equivalent of like a t-shirt.
No,
with no
Mother
sleeves.
Goose would know. Yeah, Mother Goose
Sure.
would know what a cutoff
Dolittle
t-shirt
would
is.
know as well. Yes. She is wearing like jeans, boots, and she's got like a red bandana pulled over her head. She has fucking biceps for days. She is gorgeously strong. Next to her stands a smaller woman. She looks older than Peter, but she looks a little more like she's definitely like a youth as well. She's got like furs and like daggers and stuff, kind of like on a belt. She's got like a long, like blood red hood and cloak that kind of comes off of her. Next to her, you see possibly the one that looks like the most out of place. You see a man dressed in all black with a black mask and a circular black hat. He's got a black cape. He's got a sword at his side.
Okay.
And next to him, you see what can only be described as a full-on knight in armor, with like a crest of a lion on his chest plate. He looks battle ready. They are all looking at a girl. She is again a youth. She is wearing a simple blue dress, and she is holding in her hands a large kind of jagged long sword that is emanating magic from it. All of you can feel it and even see it as it kind of glows this like green pulse. Instantly you all feel and know that like the mist that came off is from that sword. Maybe it was just judging by like the scene in front of you, it looks like this sword is new. Everyone's like looking at it in wonder. She is also looking at it in wonder as it's in her hands. What do you all do?
I'm gonna crouch down a little bit and just kind of like just make myself down a little bit out of sight and say, all those guys look, no offense, way stronger than us.
That's certainly the A-team.
Like,
Well, I wouldn't say stronger than all of us. And I look at Hercules.
yeah,
I'm still not sure if that's something we can do, but we don't have to fight them, right? Just keep them from whatever they're supposed to do.
No, we can just talk to them.
Yes.
Let's talk.
Dolittle
What is
fixes his shirt and tucks it in and tries to look presentable. Because that's going to help.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. What were you saying, Slayer?
You move your golden hand away from his mouth.
Golden hand!
He says, "Can I go talk to Peter?"
But you weren't supposed to come.
You're white. And then he says, "What's that?" And he points over, and you all kind of instinctively look, and he just runs.
Yes. Oh my god, I love
he
this
starts
kid
running
even more.
down this small hill where the trees are to the clearing.
Oh, be careful of hills, little one.
And he says, he's like running that, Peter. And you see Peter turn around, and he says, Slayer? What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. I told you not to follow me. And they're kind of having a little bit of an argument.
Mother Goose is gonna go ahead and walk up behind.
I was gonna
behind
say
Slayer.
at this point, the girl in red turns and looks at you, kind of looking up like, where'd that boy come from? And then sees all of you. Unless if anybody wants to hide, let me know.
Mother Goose is not hiding. She's
No.
following straight behind Slayer so that she can hear this conversation. She's going to say, Peter, I told him that he wasn't supposed to give himself away. But we did insist that he come with us.
He just says, "Hey, lady, who are you?"
I'm Mother Goose.
Johnny,
I
roll me a
mean-
stealth.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
I'm also gonna try to hide. That seems like something Dolittle would do.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a stealth as well, Dolittle.
I'm too tall.
Find your
I like-
shovel.
I like flattened myself into the grass, just like as flat as I can be.
I'm prone.
Please.
Oh my god. I'm like one of those
Gosh,
fish that.
So with the sound of like the battle still going on the other side of the woods here, all of you, with the exception of Dolittle and Johnny, move down through the trees. You see the man in black just goes towards his sword. He doesn't draw, but he's just kind of like standing there casually ready and waiting. The man in armor steps forward and says, "Oh there, strangers. You do not seem to be from this land either."
No.
Oh.
We're all from different lands. But has anyone ever told the lot of you that you ought to be in pictures?
If you mean portraits, I have many back in my own homeworld. I get the sense that you all have also... Have you been to the Crux? Have you met the man with the watch?
Honey,
We
did
have.
the whole thing.
Fantastic. Then your reinforcements. It could be useful. It seems there's a warring party here, and we have recovered a weapon that could help us turn the tide of war. Where are my manners? You can call me Arthur. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. He turns and he says, "This is Red." She just kind of growls at you all.
She's feral.
He says, "This is Rosie," and she says, "Hi." And then he says, "And this is Zorro." And the man says, "It's a pleasure to meet you."
Oh, you absolutely need to be in pictures.
Oh my! Well, the pleasure is all mine.
Oh my gosh.
And he looks at you and he's like, "Another fairy. Interesting."
Another?
Yeah, another. We heard that before from Slayer here. Hi, I'm Trixie Tootsweet. Nice to meet y'all.
A pleasure to meet you. Rosie says, "Right, so when we first got here, we met Peter," and she turns back and looks at, she says, "Alice." And there was a bit of a misunderstanding, and this, well, Peter, maybe you should say, he says, "Right, yeah, well, when all of this happened, Tink went missing, and we were all looking for her, because without her, we can't get to that island. We need her pixie dust."
So we are trying to get to the island. Well, that's good news. All right, you said that we were reinforcements. What are we reinforcing exactly?
Arthur steps back up. "Good question, my lady. Well,
Oh.
as it stands, there are two warring factions here between the pirates of the cove and some sort of paper warriors.
Playing
and-
cards. They look like a giant deck of playing cards.
I genuinely don't know if there were playing cards in my time. So, yes, sure.
They're giant decks, that's for sure.
The lassie.
What a deck.
Rosie just like goes to high five you.
Oh,
She says,
since
"Preach
you
it."
flying. No.
Arthur says, "As you all, I'm sure, are aware, we are meant to find the heart of the story, find the crystal, return it, and save all of our worlds. So, according to Peter, the crystal must lie with Tinkerbell. And according to Alice, well, we're not really sure, but there's an impulse that seems to be bringing us towards that island out there. a friendly cat in the forest suggested that we get this magical artifact before we venture out to the island. So, perhaps you could all, keep us covered while we venture to the island, secure the crystal, and free all of our worlds. This is the last crystal, you know.
Oh,
Should we
know.
tell him? I feel like we should tell him.
Yeah.
Trixie, you got a point of inspiration for the deck joke. I don't know if you already have one.
I
choose-
don't.
Okay.
Thank you. Got it back. Oh, I forgot to say.
Puck, you, Johnny, are you trying to, like, just listen? Are you trying to do anything? You get a drop? It seems they have not noticed you. However, you can see, Johnny, that, that Red, she is definitely, like, inching a little closer towards where you were, and where Dolittle is just laying in the grass.
So if
She's,
I
like,
can
prowling
paint
a little
you-
closer.
if I can paint you a little bit of a picture, I feel like I imagine that we're on some sort of incline looking down on the scene. So when half our party went forward, Johnny just hit the deck and flattened himself like in the grass on the ground, and then maybe Dr. Dolittle did the same thing, but his mass is a little bit more.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
like based off of that character anyway, so it's like Johnny's just like flat like a little pancake, and then you've just got this like khakied man.
Sure.
in-
So you're
in glass
staying
next
put
to him.
with Dolittle, basically.
Yeah, but I'll look
Okay.
over to him and I'll say, "What do you think they're talking about?"
Probably, hopefully, I don't know. I hope they're not telling them what's happening. I don't know. Does it look like it's going well?
Well, no one's dead, but that girl in the red cloak
And
just came
you-
closer
as
here.
you
Wait,
say
what's
that-
her-
Johnny, as you say the girl in the red cloak, you look back to where she was, and she's gone. And then
No!
you hear
Oh!
you hear
I'm
a
dead.
"Ah!" and Dolittle, like, you're laying
I
there,
scream.
and like
Bloody murder.
pounced on top of you, a dagger up to like your cheek.
Do I
This
see
girl is
Amazing.
like foaming at the mouth, angry eyes. She's like,
A bit of blood.
she
I'll
starts.
just like scream as a natural reaction, just like cock back on my walking stick, and just like.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
I'm
Go ahead
just-
and make an attack, Johnny.
Okay.
Oh.
A 15.
Oh gosh.
Okay. That is just gonna miss. You swing back, but she's ready for you as she like drops closer to the ground, ducking underneath your swing.
I'm gonna die.
Um,
I'm gonna die.
She
Oh, no.
then, as you kind of like, get there, she puts a knife up to your neck, as she has a knife to Dolittle's as well, and then you just see she goes, "Ow!" She howls as the rest of you hear this, like, turn around, see a knife to Johnny's throat. She's
The Johns
there.
are in trouble.
And Zorro draws his sword and says, "Intruders!"
I'm in
Whoa! No. Those two Nith-Norths are with us, okay? You better drop your weapons right now.
Yes, they're a part of the reinforcements.
Yes.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Johnny's one of the best trackers you will ever find. He's our best bet to get anywhere we need to be. And the doctor,
I have biscuits.
well, yeah, that's right.
Trixie, make me a persuasion with advantage.
He has excellent
Oh my God.
company. Persuasion with advantage.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. 1. Ooh, let's go with the 22.
22. Zorro immediately and says, "My mistake." At which point, Red is like still holding her ground, and Rosie says, "Hey, Red, maybe we cool it with the knives. It seems like they're friendly." And she looks like down at you, Dolittle, and she gets real close. Turns to Johnny,
Hello.
sniffs you both, and then puts the daggers back in her, sheathes them, stands up, and then just kind of walks back towards the group as if nothing happened.
The doctor smells of peppermint, so he's delightful. Okay.
Yeah,
A lot of peppermint.
she seemed to really like Johnny's smell.
Yeah.
She's about the same age as you, probably, Johnny, somewhere in that like 19 to 30 year range.
Rule of 3.
Interesting.
She seems to like whatever pheromones you're giving off.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
well, before that was even a factor, I was gonna say, as Dr. Dolittle and Johnny walk down, maybe towards the rest of the group, Johnny's gonna discreetly kind of like be like, "Hey, Mr. Doctor, have you ever been in love?"
Dr. Doolittle's gonna choke on the mint. What?
No reason, no
Wonderful.
reason. Never mind. It's no.
Table that, Johnny.
As you all get back towards the clearing, Peter says, "Okay, well, we better get going. We need to. Apparently, there's some time limit or something here, right?" Alice, who has been quiet the entire conversation, is still holding this sword, and she says, "Excuse me, are we meant to? Am I supposed to use this?" Holding the sword up.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm qualified to use this. Perhaps you, and she like, kind of gestures to King Arthur, or you, looking to you, Hercules.
How did you come across this?
Let's see. I think she says there was a cat that I've seen before who speaks in riddles, and he mentioned that the Snicker snack is important, and he led us this way, and I suppose this is the Snicker snack.
Excuse me, ma'am, but can I just like taste that sword real quick?
She looks at you so confused. She just kind of like holds it
like,
out to you.
Just
I tap
Let
on
it.
it. I get a sound for the ringing.
Uh-huh.
I'll like, and then
this is normal. This is their thing. It's fine.
Good.
You see,
Well-
Johnny, as you're doing this, like, Red kind of comes up on the other side, and she starts, like, sniffing it as well, like, I can do this, too.
like my whole face turns red,
Great.
and let's
This
put my
is
hands in my pockets, and I'll
Really, really sweet.
I can use my my ability to determine the effects of a magical object or energy.
Hell yeah, dude. Fantastic. So you determine this is a sort of legend. You're not sure why you know this. You just know that this sword carries with it a great story. It is meant to put an end to a monster. It is a monster slayer, indeed.
Oh. I think that's gonna be really important. It's wow. Do you have any monsters that you have to worry about in your world?
She gets a little weary. You see yeah, and then she says, not particularly. There's the wretched Queen of Hearts, but
Oh, the Queen of Hearts made some tarts all on a summer's day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts and took them quite away. That Queen of Hearts?
I suppose so.
That's one of my poems.
Interesting.
Do you know her?
No, I just wrote about it.
Oh.
You can tell that Alice definitely was maybe not saying the full truth. All of you
Yeah.
can tell that. She's
Yeah,
not a
but
good
that-
liar.
Mhm. Well,
Well, anyway, if there hypothetically were a monster, that sword would do the trick.
She says, well, wonderful, but again, I don't really know what I'm doing with this. I can barely hold it. It's so heavy.
Alice, you said your name was.
Yes.
If you're not comfortable with it, I suppose I could take it for a while.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. She hands it to you. She says it's heavy. Hercules, it feels light as hell, man. It's like,
Yeah.
throwing a butter knife around.
Butter knife.
A butter
Butter
knife.
Butter knife.
So, it has now been 2 hours.
Cool.
And Rosie says, excuse me, everyone, but I feel like we should get a move on.
I agree. Time is not on our side.
I'll get us there ASAP, but I don't know what that means.
ASAP. Me neither, but I like it. Let's go.
Okay.
So you all start moving through the forest. Arthur is next to you, Mother Goose, kind of talking as he goes. My lady, you mentioned before, I believe you said, should we tell them? I'm curious if there's something that would be helpful for us to know.
Well, it's not particularly good news, so were you enjoying your day?
Were you enjoying your day?
Well, my world is at stake, and all of my friends and family are there, so not exactly enjoying, but...
Well, the man on watch is under the impression that when we restore the crystals, that only one of our many worlds can be saved, and the rest will just go to ruin, and he has every intent to save his world exclusively. Now, how is your day?
Well, that is most displeasing. You're not sure if he believes you or not.
That's fine, because I don't
kinda
know
get
if Mother
the
Goose
sense-
believes herself.
What we were told.
Make me a persuasion check,
Yeah.
Mother Goose.
Can I maybe say something to like back her up and give her advantage?
I'm gonna have a very earnest face on.
I think you all are kind of spread out as you walk through the forest here, so I think this is kind of a very private conversation between the two of them at the moment.
That's fair.
She don't
That
need
is
it.
a 23.
Yeah, she also did it.
He definitely seems to take what you say seriously, as he goes quiet and continues walking. Dolittle, you and Alice are kind of walking astride, and she looks to you and she says, are you a doctor?
Well, yes. It's, for animals now, but yes.
I see. You're an animal doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Well, I used to work on human. It's a whole thing.
I can't help but... I noticed you were hiding back there, and I just wanted to say that if things go poorly, I will probably also be hiding, and perhaps we could hide together.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not really cut out for this. I'm not sure why I am chosen by my world. I don't fully understand it. I am not even really of this world. I actually came to this world from another world already.
Oh.
And it, anyway.
Big week for you.
It is. It is. what do you do when you're scared?
Well, he doesn't have the mitt in his mouth anymore. I usually get nauseous. That's
just very honest.
that is about it. But I have a shovel and some biscuits and my friends. So far, it's going okay.
And she looks kind of at the rest of the group, and she looks to Rosie, and she says, yes, the friends are nice. She smiles, and then you make me a perception check.
Perception.
Disgrace.
I knew it. 15.
You feel something. You don't really notice, but she seems to have put something in your bag.
Oh.
In your little doctor's bag. You're not sure what it is, but she seems to like kind of put it in there, and then just kind of keep walking, like, yeah.
He's just gonna make a face and kind of look around for Trixie.
You look around. We will cut to Trixie. Trixie, you are astride with Peter and Slayer.
I think I'm with the children. Yeah, I'm with the child. Like, are we really bringing them? All right.
What?
Well.
I'm Swaya. If anything, I should have the Snicker Snack because I can sway the monsters.
I know, dear. Are you losing a tooth? And she's gonna like.
He definitely is about to lose a tooth. Yes.
Let's find a door.
Peter says, "I'm sorry. So tell me again. Are you a fairy?"
Well, yes, obviously I
But
am.
you don't know Tinkerbell.
No.
Well, see, that's so weird to me. And if you don't know Tinkerbell, but you're also a fairy, there's other fairies from other worlds. So I wonder, is Tinkerbell from another world? I don't know.
I don't know.
And I just wonder too, like if you're from another world and everybody else is from another world, can I go see these other worlds? I'd like to go see these other worlds. When I first came to Neverland, I never wanted to leave, but now I kind of want to leave and go see the other worlds. I mean, like, wouldn't that be cool?
Perpetually awkward.
Just constantly interrupting you, Trixie, every time you try to answer a question.
And I'm trying to take care of this tooth. I just, just falling off, and I just.
Do you want to try to get it?
Oh, I'm gonna say, hey, Slayer, would you just open your mouth? I'm not gonna touch it. I'm just gonna look at it.
Roll for initiative.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Hey, what's that?
Going.
Yeah, and he, like,
That's what he did.
As you turn your head, make me boy oh boy, we'll just call this a dexterity. We'll call this a sleight of hand.
Yeah. All right. Come on.
He
Oh.
sleight of hand
Oh, wait,
the
I have
tooth out of his
inspiration.
head.
I'm gonna use the inspiration right now because this is what I want to use my inspiration on.
Oh.
No, it's worse.
Here's the
I
good
thought we were
news.
doing the other one.
Here's the good news. Even though you only got a 12, this is something that you are so good at. And this tooth is so loose.
Okay, good.
With a 12, he goes,
I don't wanna hurt.
huh? And he goes, ow! Hey. And he sticks like his tongue where his tooth was. And he's like, this
Memories.
feels fun.
Yeah. Now your baby tooth is gone, and you're gonna get a real adult tooth now.
Oh boy, that sounds fun.
And for you, and she's gonna give him a golden coin.
Wow!
for being a
What is
boy.
this? Is
There
this
you
pie
are.
with gold?
Sure, honey.
Cool.
Don't spend it all in one place, and I will take the tooth.
Shout out to ECAT Carter, who just like found the biggest loophole.
What?
Oh, wait, really?
She said,
Uh-oh.
she said, wait, that means he's growing up if he gets his adult teeth.
Oh, no.
So-
He just never gets his adult
he's
tooth.
never gonna get a tooth back there as long as he stays in Neverland.
Gonna
You
have-
just made,
That's
made him look like a
hilarious.
hockey player.
She
for the
doesn't
rest
know
of his
that.
life.
She's
Yeah.
like, sure.
But this
why
is, but now it's Never Wonderland. So like, you know.
Yeah,
That's
I-
also trippy.
I did name it the Land of Never Wonder. That's what is in my notes.
Oh,
That's
But
great.
there would be nobody who would actually ever name it that in world,
no.
so it makes no sense.
I love that.
Nor
That's
would any of us
cool.
know what it is.
True. So anyway,
Doctor was looking for me though. I
Johnny-
think or somebody. I don't know.
You
Johnny-
see a panicked look on my face.
Sorry, dears. I'm coming. She's gonna go fly towards Doctor.
Johnny, you are astride with Red, who literally just walks with her head down the whole time, never looking at you or talking to you.
Gosh.
Okay.
Oh my god! Sorry.
Behind you, you see Zorro, just like a step behind you, and he kind of like looks at her and looks at you, and he kind of smirks a little bit.
Oh,
So, what was your world like?
My world was one.
I wasn't asking you. I was asking her.
Yes.
Sorry.
Aww.
No, it's
Aww.
perfectly alright.
Aww.
The language of love is one that I am very fluent in. And he takes like 4 steps back and lets you guys have
What?
privacy.
I don't.
And
I'm not.
Mother Goose steals Zorro away. I don't
Okay.
I don't need to roleplay that. That's just all she needed to hear to be like, so Zorro.
Yeah, so you behind Zorro is you and King Arthur, and as soon as he like kind of goes into like, oh shit, what's the truth here? You just like step forward, so Zorro. But,
Sorry, but now Johnny can have a scene.
Johnny,
'cause
you
that's
you
what
ask
it's
this question. She looks up to you and
Yeah. Yeah, my world can be like that too sometimes.
about.
Ow.
She continue walking with you. She you see her like reach into a pocket and she holds her hand out like this to give you something.
Please
Okay.
tell me it's a thimble.
She drops all into your hand seeds. A collection of different seeds that she seems to have.
Oh my Lord above. I'll put those away. And I'll reach into my little knapsack and I'll pull out an apple and give it to her. Just a regular old apple.
She takes it. It's just as red as her cloak.
Yes.
She like
Yes,
sniffs
it is.
looking at you, and then like takes a slow bite. To anybody else, this would be kind of weird. To you, it's sort of
Don't say it.
sensual. Yeah. Cat
think,
Carter
like,
says, "I am shipping red apples so hard."
Johnny's love language is apples.
So
I think-
the two. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just from there on out, it's like she's predominantly silent as they walk, and Johnny's just like telling her about like his world and his family, and well, like just on and on. Like, well, anyway, and then Ulysses was about like 21 when I think he got recruited, and just like
Yeah. Fantastic. You Hercules, you are walking next to Rosie, who literally the first thing she says to you is, "So what do you bench?"
Bench.
Solid.
Bench. What do I?
Weights.
What does that mean?
You're very strong looking. We should arm wrestle sometime. Do you arm wrestle?
I've wrestled before, but that requires your entire body.
Sure. I mean, we could do that too if you know. Whatever, but-
Yes. This is the romance episode for whatever reason.
Yeah, I
There it
don't
is.
know. What's it,
And I'm babysitting.
Valentine's Day? Oh my god.
Yeah, Trixie's like thirsty
getting
and
any.
ain't getting nothing.
I ain't getting nothing.
Oh no, Tinkerbell's coming up. I'm just kidding.
True dat.
Goose.
Oh my
man.
god.
Unless.
She says, Rosie says to you, Hercules, no, but for real, like, are you just the way you're dressed, the whole thing here, are you, where are you from?
I'm Hercules, the champion of Greece.
Shit, no way. Really?
And you were chosen from your world. What did you do there?
I built shit. Specifically riveting. And got really strong doing so. You see, there in my world, there's a war that's going on, and so with all the men at war, the women need to step up, and kind of sort of a big deal about it all. So, yeah.
I can understand that there are no women like you in my world.
Really? Damn. That sucks for you. There are no men like you in my world either, honestly. So, just saying. She keeps walking. Rosie keeps walking, and all of you finally get to the edge of the forest, but you've kind of taken a route that goes around the forest a little bit, and you're kind of up a little higher, looking down at the the beach, and you see like the battle is still going on. You have made it to a treehouse, a very elaborate, crazy-looking treehouse, where a bunch of other little boys rush out and say, "They're back! They're back! Everyone, look, they're back! Oh, and there's more! Wow, look at that guy! What is that? Did you find Tinkerbell? Tink, come here! Look!"
Oh my gosh,
They're
there's
like
more of them.
jumping up and down around you, Trixie.
Hello.
Okay, yep, mm-hmm.
They're like, "What's your name? Oh, what do you do? That she looks like my grandma."
And I say to Zorro, this is exactly bringing me back to my shoe days. Let me tell you about those.
he says, "Excuse me, you mean that you used to be a shoemaker?"
No, did you ever hear the poem, There Was an Old Woman Who Lived in the Shoe? She had so many children she didn't know what to do.
I cannot
It's
say
a
I
little
have heard
auto.
that, but
It's a bit autobiographical. I'm just saying.
it's fascinating. You lived in a shoe.
Well, not literally, but it felt like that sometimes. Some apartments
I
in
see.
Tinseltail Town, I tell you.
Absolutely. Yes, where I'm from, I once lived in the equivalent of a shoe as well.
We have a lot in common.
Seems we do. He kind of eyes forward, not sure what to do. You all see
Like,
Slayer. Slayer's like, and that's Dr. Dolittle, and that's Trixie, and that's Mother Goose, and that's Johnny Appleseed, and that's Hercules. And oh, look, my tooth gone now. He seems very happy to be around his family again. And Peter says, "Okay, everyone, listen up. There's no time for joking around. We have to get to that island." And he points out from this angle, like where that caldera kind of is, the island itself, like it's almost in the shape of like a skull. And you all see that Peter says, "We have to find a way to get over there. We could try to steal a ship, I guess." And Slayer says, or one of the other Lost Boys says, "Well, wait, she's a fairy. Can't she just fly us over?" And Swaya says, "No, that's not how she works. She's a tooth fairy. She helps people's teeth and gives them cool gold." And
I could put y'all to sleep, but that's about it.
and they all like look at you like, "Please don't." Arthur turns to the group and I take it back. Arthur is very quiet.
I gave him like the worst news ever, and
Rose-
then it's him entirely.
Rosie,
Arthur has just been stewing in his
Zorro.
own thoughts.
Rosie
Very on point.
turns to the group and says, "Right then, so does anybody else have a plan, an idea of how we could get to that island?"
I've been saying we need to find a boat or a raft from the beginning, but there doesn't
What
seem
if-
to be one.
Miss Mother Goose, what if we just steal one of those?
Hmm?
Like a theft.
Like a theft.
Like a theft. One theft, please.
You look down at where the boat, and you see, I mean, yeah, like the battle is going on. Most of the pirates have like jumped off the ship and are fighting on the beach now. So there's like the large one that says Jolly Roger on the back. That one is flying. The other two, though, are in the water. And those are the two that seem to have been emptied. So you could, I'm not going to say easily steal a ship, but you could steal a ship.
Let's steal a ship.
All right.
I think that's the best idea.
Zoro says,
Ships and chips.
I agree. This seems like the best plan forward. And he says, "What say you, Arthur?" And Arthur's like lost in thought.
Artie.
Huh? Forgive me, everyone. I seem to have lost myself there. What are we talking about?
We're gonna do a theft.
Well,
Stealing
usually I
the
frown
ship.
upon such things, but in this situation, I suppose the ends justify the means.
It's that or make a boat out of children.
So
I love
a
that
plan
was suggested in the chat.
I think all the Lost Boys like, and then we cut to about
No.
15 minutes later. You guys have been here for about 2 and nearly a half hours at this point. Now we cut to a moment where the Lost Boys are running down the forest, having been given their instructions. The rest of you, you 5 plus the 6 others, go. Yeah, you all. I'm trying to decide. I think maybe Zorro and Rosie are actually going to stay with the Lost Boys and lead essentially the distraction here, while the rest of you go to the ship and then to the island, basically. And if they can follow later, they will, but it's more important that you get to the ship at all. They know that they're not needed to get the crystal. It's really Peter and Alice who are. So, anyway, the rest of you, go ahead and make me stealth checks, and let's see how well you can get there.
Ah, man.
In the meantime, Sumkey
Oh,
has a
muscles
fun
are
little
too
question for us all. If you fly the flag with the skeleton of an apple, is it a Johnny Roger? Thanks, Sumkey. Thanks.
Yeah, it is. You better believe it.
All right. So, Johnny
take it.
got a 17. Hercules got a 3. Dolittle got a 6. Mother Goose got a 17.
I'm nervous.
Crazy.
It's an interesting spread. Trixie, what did you roll?
Am I flying? Do I have to still stealth?
Yeah.
So I
you
can roll it.
still
Okay.
have to stealth.
19.
Well, good. That brings up the group average. So, okay, as a group, you do all right. It's not horrible. And as you get like around the craggy rocks and whatnot, you can see the ship there. It's a smaller ship with just one sail on it. There are two like crew members aboard, like two pirates basically aboard the ship, but you could pretty easily just kind of take them between the like 10 of you or whatever. And it's at that moment that you hear as you see the Lost Boys just running like across the coast, like not even towards anybody, just like kind of in and out of the trees. You see them running, and everybody just kind of like stops and looks, like stops fighting. Like there's like, you know, swords slashing through playing cards, you know, like little heart arrows like penetrating into pirates, and all of them kind of stop and turn to see like these children running around. And Peter says, "Now!" And all of you rush towards the ship, getting on. Does anybody want to try to do something about these two crew members?
If they see us, does it seem like they will run towards us?
The two people on the ship probably wouldn't. By the time you get close enough that they would see you, you're probably already on the ship. Now, I want to give you guys the option to do something if you want. Otherwise, I can roll for the NPCs and see if they want to just handle it.
I was gonna just sneak over and push one off.
Fantastic. Yes.
Yep. Herc wants to do a knockout as well.
Fantastic. Both of you, give me unarmed strikes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I got a natural 20.
Hells yes. Both
17.
of you, so you got a 17 and a natural 20. Both of you just kind of like, Puck, Johnny, you stick your like walking stick like right at their foot, and they just kind of bump into them, and they trip and whoop, splash. Hercules, you literally just. And they just whoa, like they fly like 10 feet off and then fall into the water. You have commandeered a ship, at which point Peter goes to work rigging it up, and you are a sail already, as you see some pirates behind are like calling out like, they took our ship, captain. But they're all in a fray, and it's a little too tricky.
High five, Mr. Hercules.
Well done, boy.
You all sail. Now, he's going as fast as he can. You suspect when you hit land... I mean, now here's the thing. You don't know for a fact how long you actually have. You're going based off of what's been given to you the last couple times that you've done this, which was about 3 hours. When you land, you're going to have about 10 minutes before it hits that 3-hour mark.
Oh God! Of course.
Now again, you don't know if that'll mean anything at this point, but you would be willing to bet that something may happen at the 3-hour mark. So, you sail. Is anybody doing anything in the ship before you hit land?
Do I get away from Alice at all? Anywhere near Trixie?
Yeah, sure. She's with Peter, kind of, he's like showing her like, and that's that, and then over there, that's where that's like Shipwreck Bay or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's pointing out like, I think that's the Grove where, and they're kind of like comparing notes about their worlds.
I'd like to see why she was touching my back.
Sure. You open the pocket and pull out a small cake that simply says "Eat me" on it.
Oh.
She is a child.
Trixie, what is this? I don't think the doctor's ever seen anything like this. His biscuits are made out of mealworms.
What, darling? What are you talking
No
about?
wonder they were so crunchy.
She,
Wait. Oh, well, actually, that is she knows exactly. That looks like it is
You
some
do
kind
know, Trixie, you do know a good amount about sweets and magical sweets. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check, Trixie.
What is that? Buttercream?
Ooh.
And,
Free.
oh, bad. Real bad.
The only thing you gather from this is that it is indeed magical. You're not sure what effects it would have, but you know that it is magical if you eat it.
That's magic.
Oh my god.
That's all I got.
No.
But I'm getting hints of cinnamon. That's nice. That's real lovely.
I like cinnamon. Alright, I empty out the pocket that had the granola in it, and I just shove it in there.
Okay.
Without the boy saying.
Probably more taste than the
Great.
granola.
Without seeing Johnny's name.
I mean, who gave that?
They don't need to know.
Snookums, who gave that to you?
I just point at Alice.
Oh, she's a little.
So I probably won't eat it, but it's
Yeah.
there.
Maybe not. I mean, she seems very nice, but
Yeah.
no, I don't know if you accept sweets and treats from strangers, but
No, but
Nice.
it seems, I don't know. I like cinnamon.
I
Shove it in my
can
mouth.
I like
that,
cinnamon.
please. I like
Hercules, can Hercules talk to Arthur?
Absolutely. He is at like the front of the ship, like at the bow, and he's standing there, kind of just looking off into the distance. He hears you come up and, friend Hercules.
You don't seem to have the confidence you had when we met.
Yes, well, I am not the same man as I was when we met. I have learned of the trickery of our benefactor.
So you know what we all know.
I
Listen,
do.
I know that finding that crystal is the most important thing, but what happens after is even more important than that. Can I trust that we'll have your help in whatever happens after this?
It's interesting to me knowing knowing the truth and still being a victim of it. There's no way, there seems no path to success, and it's uncharted territory for me.
I understand more than you know. In this journey, I have encountered magic that I never thought could have existed in any world, but that's the only hope I have. If there was enough strength to get us here, then there should be enough strength to restore all of us back.
When we get to this crystal, I indeed will help to make matters right. But what does that look like?
It looks like knowing who the enemy is. And I think we know.
He nods. You can tell he's thinking, but he says nothing. The waves crash. Peter says, nearly there! Everyone, prepare yourselves! He is currently unarmed, and you see Red goes over to him and just hands him a dagger, and he's like, thanks. She, like, walks over to you, Dolittle.
Thank you.
Do you take it?
Yes.
It's a dagger.
It's not at my throat, so I'm excited.
Yeah, she hands it to you. What do you do with it?
What? I put it in my satchel.
You put it in your satchel.
I don't-
She reaches into your satchel, grabs your hand, puts it in your hand, and then she like she like starts moving you, like showing you essentially how to like stab, because she just assumes you have no clue.
Awesome.
You will murder someone tonight.
She turns to you and she says,
Blood in, blood out.
What is with these children
you know-
giving you gifts everywhere? I didn't
don't
get
know.
anything but a tooth.
I
What?
don't like it. You know, Johnny over there doesn't have anything.
she like, she looks, as you say that, she turns and she looks
Johnny's
back.
like ass over tea kettle looking for like something on the deck, just like kind of like.
Ooh.
Dolittle, you do
Booty
notice
poppin'?
her. She blushes a bit, and then she turns and walks. It's like just walks hard away.
Yeah.
He
I
laughs just a
do
little bit.
think there's a little bit of a crush going around.
Is there anything else somebody wants to do before you hit land?
Hey, do you guys have any dirt? Does anyone have any dirt?
Oh, the granola.
Hey,
Oh, sorry, darling.
It's a little-
I'll give it a try.
that
I
work?
guess. Maybe. I was gonna try and plant some magical apples.
Okay.
What dirt?
Yeah, you find this is like not the cleanest of ships. Although there's no dirt.
Over the Lost Boys.
Found some manure.
Oh,
Fine.
There's no dirt,
Great.
but there is a bit of, we'll say, gunpowder.
Say it. Okay.
There, you find a barrel of like gunpowder, that you maybe mistake for dirt.
Yeah.
No.
And so you
Already,
start planting
yes.
seeds in the
Powder.
gunpowder.
What's gonna
What are you trying to plant?
My magical apples. So
Okay.
I'll roll to see how many I get. Tree.
3 magical apples emerge from the gunpowder. Each of them, where like the stem would be, is like a little like wire that one might use to like light
A
dynamite.
fuse.
A fuse.
Oh,
thank
so
you.
cool.
they're grenades.
Great.
So, Johnny, you
look
understand.
Apple
In addition to
bombs.
the regular effects, so this could be a healing potion if you eat it. However, if you find a way to catch it on fire and chuck it, it could become an apple bomb.
Yeah.
So it's dual effects here.
That's so
Don't mix up
really
those two
crazy.
instructions.
Don't light it, then
I'll-
eat it.
I'll come to my friends and I'll have them and I'll say, I'm really sorry, but I can only get 3 to grow in that funny dirt over there.
Ooh, I'll take one.
I'm okay. I have a little thing from your friend over
Miss-
there.
Mr.
you
Doctor,
say,
no offense, but you got really hurt last time and maybe you should take one.
I mean, if you insist. Sure.
That leaves Trixie and Mr. Hercules. I'm sorry. You guys want to
Okay.
arm wrestle for it?
Arm wrestling that people keep talking about.
You're so muscular, dear. No. Give it to the muscles over here. I'm pretty fast and pretty hard to hit, so why don't you go ahead and give it to him? What about
Okay.
you, though, Johnny? You don't have anything to take care of yourself.
No, I'm fine. I don't need it. Here, I'll just fold it into Mr. Hercules' hands. They look funny, so I don't know. Maybe they can do other things. They're not the same.
Thank you, boy. But know that I would never let anything happen to you.
They only last an hour, so.
So, with the last bit of resources being handed out, Peter says, land ho! And you see that you are about to pull up to the shore. You see, okay, so you go pull up to the shore, jumping out of the ship, landing, splashing into the shallow water here. All of you get out of the ship, unless anybody's staying in.
No.
Okay.
Out.
All of you get out of the ship, and you see a few things. You see ahead of you, so like this island, it's like there's little pools of water, essentially. Little pools of water, almost like a spring, if you will. But they all kind of lead towards like a bit of like a little bit of like a river-esque thing that is coming out of a large cave, essentially, where the mouth would be of the skull. You see there are two kind of like other caves that are higher up that kind of act as like the eyes, and at the very top you just see kind of smoke gently rising. This is definitely a volcano. In addition to that, Johnny, Trixie, actually, I'm going to say all of you. All of you can kind of feel that familiarity of the crystal. Like, you've all felt what a crystal feels like, and you all understand that sensation. And you all feel that coming from within the mouth of the cave, basically. Peter looks to Alice, who looks back at him, and they both at the same time say, "In there?" Arthur steps forward, kind of splashing in the water and whatnot, turns around and it kind of addresses all of you. "Friends, I know not what we will find within this cave. It seems to be a monster of sorts, but with the weapon that Hercules wields, perhaps we have a fighting chance. Fret not, though, and forget not our true goal. While there may be a monster inside, we are here to find Tinkerbell, and, well, we're not sure." And he looks to Alice, and he's like, "It's all right. But if what the rest of us have experienced is true, there's only one crystal, and if we find Tinkerbell, we should find the crystal. So, I say we split up. There is a large island. There may be other ways into this cave. In fact," and he looks up towards like the eyes, and he says, "Getting a high ground may not be a bad idea. Is anyone willing to scale the side with me and perhaps try that?"
Oh, I'm out.
He nods. Red kind of just sticks her hand up, and so does Peter. The rest, so with those three, he says, "Not a bad idea. The rest of you may be better off going straight through the mouth of the cave." So it's basically you five and Alice.
Right.
And he says, "Keep an eye out, look after each other, and remember what the goal is." And when he says that, he looks to you, Hercules.
Yes. Remember what the goal is.
"All right, to victory." Throws his sword up, turns, and just starts like running heroically towards the cave. Peter, Red is already like full wolf sprint behind him, quickly
so
passing
fast.
him, and Peter is like, "Hey, wait up!" and kind of running along behind them. The rest of you, you five and Alice, what do you do?
I want to saddle up next to Alice and just ask her some questions, just like casual conversation.
Okay. She's like,
Hey, your name's Alice, right?
"Oh, yes."
Hi, I'm Johnny.
Hey,
I don't
yes,
think we
I know.
got to meet.
Right,
Oh.
but I heard your name. Right, it's rude of me not to introduce myself. Um, nice to meet you, Johnny.
That's okay. Why were you uncomfortable with that sword?
I don't know how to fight. And also I'm not, well, I'm not strong in that way. I'm also a bit worried and a bit afraid of what we might find inside this cave.
But everyone knows how to fight. If I threw a punch at you right now, what would you do?
Please don't.
Oh my God.
Please don't. I would not like that.
I'm not saying I was gonna, but you'd probably duck. Fighting is mostly instincts.
Right. While this conversation's happening, the rest of you are kind of like, I guess you're all kind of slowly walking towards the cave, maybe?
Yeah, I guess we can
Yeah.
head in.
Yeah.
You start, so you're about like, still like 100 feet from the mouth of the cave. The high ground team, if you will, has just started climbing up the side. She looks to you, Johnny. She says, I was never taught how to fight. I followed a white rabbit into this place, this land of wonder, and it only seems to be getting more and more strange the longer I stay.
Do you think that's your origin? A white rabbit?
My origin? Do you mean the
Well,
heart of my
yeah.
story?
Mm-hmm.
I've never thought about it. Perhaps. Well, I followed the white rabbit, through a looking glass, and maybe I and then she, like, her eyes go wide. She looks at you, Johnny, and as she goes to say something, you hear this loud boom from within. You all see that Red has climbed to the top of the eye already. She is there, and she is like looking inside. Her back's to all of you. You see that the others are climbing slower, but they're farther behind. And you see she turns around, her eyes are wide, and she just yells out, "Run!" Loudly. The first time you've heard her say an actual word, as through
Angel's
that
music.
eye hole where she is, like, she gets flung off of there, falling, splashing into one of these pools, these hot pools. Where she was standing, 50 feet or so above where they're climbing, you see a creature, green, winged, two, like, hands that, like, are long and spindly, that are, like, on the mouth. Like, it's so big, it's taking up the entirety of this, like, eye hole. It looks out towards you, like, the neck is long, two eyes that are large and haunting. And Alice instinctively, she just says, "Jabberwock."
Oh gosh.
You all see this creature here, and with that, I think we'll go ahead and stop tonight's session.
Jabberwock.
I want to clarify too, her eyes already got wide when you were talking to her, Johnny, before she saw the Jabberwock. So it was like thing and then another thing. So anyway, hey everybody, holy crap.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Oh, heck.
So, yo, that's the That's the penultimate chapter. We will
Yeah.
be back next week with the finale. Now, I admit, I don't know
Crazy.
really what's going to happen, but I have a feeling we have... we might need to go... maybe a little bit longer of a session next week, is my point.
Yeah.
So we'll discuss that, but just be ready for that.
Yeah.
Yes, penultimate already, I know. Session 5 of 6.
Yeah.
So next Friday, we will return with the finale. What will happen? Will they find the crystal in time? Will this Jabberwock eat them all? Who knows?
Probably.
Oh God.
Will we all find love and
Truly.
death?
Yes.
Will you
Why
find love or
adopt
death?
children?
Will Trixie... yeah, will Trixie become a mother of 10?
To all the lost boys.
These answers and more next week.
Yes.
But hey, guess what? You don't have to wait till next week to see these lovely faces again. Maybe that one. But the rest of us, you will see within the next 24 hours if you just stick around. In 2 hours' time, we will be right here, same channel, back playing Cthulhu Dark, which is going to be as haunting and terrifying as it sounds. It's starting at midnight. We're going to play till like 3 a.m. So that's going to be wild. We have a whole slate of other shows coming all day, basically, tomorrow. So be ready for that. We hope you'll join us for that, even if it's just in and out as we go. I will be here for the next 24 hours, baby. So if nothing else, just stop by the chat and talk to me.
How do we send coffee?
Send coffee.
Venmo'd you.
Send. Yes, you did. Thank you so much, Andy. That was
Yes, there have been.
Drink all the coffee.
So I will say goodnight to you all. We hope to see you next week. We hope to see you in 2 hours. Either way, thank you for watching and have a good night. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Nighty night.